part 2 of 2 parts of interview with Chue on March 27th. Kia, we left off, you were in the refugee camp for 5 years, but you had just been talking about the language barrier where some of your family didn't speak Thai. How is it that you were able to speak Lao, Thai, and English? When did you learn the English?
Well, like I mentioned you earlier, I graduated and we call P6 in Laos, but equivalent according to United States, I complete high school in Laos, so I can read Lao and I can learn Thai in the dictionary. My first beginning learning English and Thai, I use dictionary. The dictionary is very important for me, and the one I would consider that it is my professor and to teach me.
Did you learn English while you were still in school, or did you teach yourself English after you got out of school?
I teach my English myself after got out of school.
Where were you when you met your first English-speaking American?
Like I say, I mentioned at least 1960. I went to Thailand. At first, I first met with American people, and I'm the person not quite shy. I like to talk a lot. And when I met with the instructor, the advisory, and the Thai and camp training, I said, "Hi, good morning." What talk a lot. Sometimes laughing, sometimes mad, sometimes talk a lot. So I learning English by talking too, and also match to the dictionary. Yeah, I learned it from dictionary. What is a dictionary said, and I use that word to talk to American people. Maybe that some it help a lot. It help a lot. You know, some use the dictionary. The pronunciation is not quite clear, but you know what is writing. So I said, like I told you, I said Operation Fuel, but you don't know what I mean fuel. You can understand what I mean fuel, but I wrote the Operation Fuels and showed them, making, oh yeah, you they correct me the pronunciation. So long as long, a month to year, so I can speak not correct English, but I can speak broken English before I came to the United States.
Well, and because you could speak English, that's part of the reason that you were assigned to the FAG, right?
Yes.
Because you had to speak. Did you have to speak in English or Lao?
Yes.
Or both? You would talk on the radio to call in the Ravens. Would you have to be speaking in English?
Yes, English, because the pilot is the American.
All right, after your 5 years in the refugee camp and you got all your siblings over, how did you yourself get to the United States?
Well, I usually work with American people, so not very difficult for myself. From American people that's certified that I work for American people. So here it's so not a kind of difficult for me.
Oh, that handwritten letter?
Yeah. This the American people written for me whenever I need or when I want to come.
Okay.
So
we'll add that to the record. That was And so when you could come, you brought your family.
Yeah.
Did you have to be sponsored by somebody in the United States? Or did the CIA arrange to have you, or the United Nations? Who arranged the paperwork?
Well, one of my cousins, he came here before, so he arranged a little church to be my sponsor, and he and the church are sponsored me. My first camp in the Santa Barbara, California.
So a church in Santa Barbara
Yeah.
sponsored you and your cousin.
Yes.
What, do you recall the date that you came?
February 25th, 1980.
1980?
Right.
So you and how many of your children came over at that time?
Only 4.
So you and one wife or two?
Yeah, one wife.
One wife
Yeah.
and 4 children. How long did you stay in Santa Barbara?
2 months only.
Oh, only 2 months?
Only 2 months.
Then where did you go?
I moved to Merced, California.
Merced, California?
Yes. That is a little city and not too much traffic and easy for make a light living and easy to go to school. So I moved to Merced, California.
What did you think, what was your adjustment like? What did you think of America when you first arrived here?
Well, it kind of confusing and hard to make a decision and don't know how to make a light living. But I know education is very important for everybody. So after I moved to Merced, I'll keep going to the school. Yeah, keep going to the school, learning ESL program and learning some English. So I keep going. I know education is important for me, so I keep going to the school.
What did you go back to school for?
Go back to school for English, for English, learning English.
So you went. What did you do for work?
After I enrolled to Merced College, and so during the time, we still receive a grant for financial aid, right? Financial aid. So by the time I like to work, I keep going to learning English and aside to work part-time too. So what they call custodian. My first job in the American is custodian.
You were a custodian?
Yeah, custodian.
Where?
Yeah. In the Merced College.
Oh, at the college that you were taking classes at.
Taking class and work part-time for custodian at Merced College. And I keep going for 1 or 2 year ESL program in English. So finally, in Merced, they had funding called Lao Family, Merced Lao Family Community. So I got a job there. I got a job to work for Lao Family Community.
What did you do?
I do the translator, and they have a program for agriculture. I helping an instructor, instructor assistant, helping more people to do the farm. So I worked for 2 years and a half about that. Yeah, for agriculture, I know how to farm.
So did you do farming here in the United States?
Not really. I don't do farm, but I learned how to do farm. I know how to do farm, but I didn't do it. So after that, I stayed at Merced College a little while. My kid grew out.
Yeah.
I got more kid.
Yeah.
I got more kid. My kid grew out. Merced, like I mentioned earlier, a little city, no job, no university. So I think about in the future might be a kind of difficult for my family a little bit. So I decided to move to Sacramento, 1988.
So you moved to Sacramento?
I moved to Sacramento, 1988, because Sacramento, a big city, and they have a higher education, or maybe I think about maybe some of my kids, they lazy to go to school. After graduate high school, they might find a job. That's why I think about I moved to Sacramento. At the Merced College, I not got my degree yet, but after I go to Sacramento, I keep going to school. I finally graduated high school diploma in Sacramento.
So you got your high school diploma?
Oh yeah, I including and brought in here too.
Great.
Yeah.
when did you become an American citizen?
1992.
After you got your high school diploma, did you go on for any other education?
No. After I got my high school diploma, so I go back to looking for job. So finally, I got a job called the same organization called Sacramento Lao Family Community. Yeah, I work for Sacramento Lao Family Community.
What did you do?
I helping the teacher to be the teacher aide or teacher instruct helping the teacher taught ESL. Yeah, taught
And
ESL.
did you work there until you retired?
No, I worked for Sacramento Law Family for 2 years. For 2 years, I be there for teacher assistant, and finally they give me a position called job developer. A job developer, so I know how to. I have a lesson and know how to teach people looking for a job for 2 years. After 2 years, I move that from Sacramento Law Family to a new organization called Hmong Women Heritage Association. So I work for Hmong Women Heritage Association for 10 years. So that I got returned from Hmong Women Heritage Association.
And that's where you retired from?
Yeah, yes, that's where I retired from.
Do you still live in Sacramento?
Yeah, right now I still live in Sacramento.
Which is a big city. How did you adjust to living in the jungles and in a rural area in Laos to a big city in the United States? Was the cultural differences difficult for you to adapt to?
Oh yes. According to myself, not a kind difficult because when I still in Laos, I already knew the life living in the big city, how to look like. In Thailand, how to look like. And after got United States, I can adjust myself and it kind of a little bit easier. But especially for the people who never live in city or who never know about the life living in the town, like my sibling family or the other refugee, it kind of very difficult, little bit difficult to make a new life.
When you moved to the United States, the area you moved to, were there a lot of other Hmong living there, or were you by yourself?
Well, yes or no, because I said yes, no, but when I first came to Santa Barbara, they not quite had too many refugees. They have maybe about 10 or 15 family. And that I moved from Santa Barbara to Merced. They have only 7 family over there. First time seven family. I'm the 8th family over there. So that's why I say yeah or no, like not too many, but quite a family over there already.
Did you stay in touch with any of your family or relatives or friends in Laos
You mean now or
Now.
the past?
when you came to the United States?
Oh yes. A little while, like we talk about mission and the start to do during the war. Everybody can go back and forth from Laos or communicate by telephone or by letter. So yes, I still have a lot of relative or friend over in Laos. So we talk each other too, but not quite very often. Sometimes one a month or 1 or 2 times a year, something like that. Not every day.
Would you be afraid at all to go to Laos?
Not really, because the situation changed a lot. So not really. We still thinking about the safety, but not very a kind to scare too much.
Kia, what was your experience of dealing with the Americans? Did you ever directly have Americans training you, like Tony when he trained you? How did you get along with the Americans?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pretty good.
Did you stay in touch with any of your Americans from the war when you came back to the United States?
No. No. After training or after work together, so we separate. I never know where he is, where to go, and never met each other.
Kia, once you got to the United States, have you stayed in touch with any fellow Laotians,
Oh yes,
guys that you served with over in Laos?
yes.
Do you see them like all the time?
Yeah, not all the time, but just sometimes.
But you do, so you stayed in touch with some of them.
Yeah, especially Colonel San. Yeah, Colonel San, the one who Botong worked with him. Colonel Sar.
Sar?
Yeah, Sar.
Did you work with Sar when you were in Laos?
No.
Did you only know him from the United
Yeah,
States?
yeah.
Do you see any guys in the United States that you worked with in Laos?
Yes. Some. Not very many, but some.
When you were working during the war, because I mean, you had a long time where you were in service, military service. Did you ever get any leave or rest time where you could get a break?
Yes. Like a vacation, but we not call vacation, but we call let you take a break. Take a break.
And what would you do when you would get this vacation?
When when you work service for a year, they give 1 or 2 weeks for you to take a break and come back to stay with family. Yeah, like a vacation, but we not call vacation. We can take a break.
So you take a break and you can just stay with your family and
Yes.
take it easy for a week?
Yes.
Um,
And especially for myself, I already knew Vientiane, the capital of Laos, it is, or Thailand, it is sometimes we take family to take a vacation or go to take a ride or to travel to Vientiane or to Thailand. But most of us, they know about Vientiane or Thailand, so they take it easy or take a ride with family.
Once you got to the United States, did you stay in touch at all with General Vang Pao?
Oh yes.
So you saw him. How often would you see him?
Approximately 3 months a time, or sometime almost a year, almost a year one time, or sometime of 3 months one time. Yeah, we still work together closely. I still went and he funeral. I don't know. Finally, I was the one to carry him into the. I told my friends that wow, when we still work together, we work hard together. But when he passed away, I have to help to carry him to the funeral too. So it kind of amazing for me.
Were you, when General Vang Pao died, were you a pallbearer?
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you were carrying him.
Yeah. I'm the one carrying him from a funeral car to the horse.
Yeah.
I carry from the horse to the ceremony hall. Yeah, I was carrying him to over there at the funeral. Yeah, do the funeral General Pao too.
Do you miss your homeland?
Oh yeah, me homeland. Like American words that even good or bad or whatever, we still thinking about hometown. Hometown is the one that I remember, right? Yes.
Kia, you said you were wounded twice, correct? Were you wounded
No,
two
no, no,
times?
no, no. Only
One time
one
with
time.
the 81 millimeter?
1963 only.
Okay.
1963.
Have you totally recovered from your wounds?
Yes, I still can work. Yeah, recover.
You can
But
work.
my body not strong like a normal. That's why Bank Power assigned me to work likely like an officer or officer, yeah, or liaison only. I cannot do the heavy duty.
Do you still have problems with your legs because of your wounds?
Yes, right now I can walk, but I cannot run.
You can't run?
I cannot run.
Kia, how would you say your military experience influenced your thinking about war?
Well, it kind like I said, a long story. Some hard to explain. Difficult to explain, but do the war. A lot of things good. A lot of things good too. Can give you an experience, but a lot of time give you very scared. Yeah, very scared.
When you were very scared, because you were in battle a lot, how did you handle that stress of being scared?
Well, I have to sometime I mentioned earlier, the Lima 36, we lost our camp. I lost my wife. That's why Xiong Pao let me take about 2-3 months to settle the strap, settle the strap, so he can assign another job for me to do that. So because when you are very scared, after you battle again, you still make a dream. You still make a dream, a scare in your mind. You sleep still, something still in your head. So we had to take a break, little while to relieve the stress, to relieve the stress.
Have you joined any veterans organizations?
Oh yes,
What have you joined?
I enjoy Lao veteran. I enjoy Lao veteran. I enjoy we call USNDC in which they call United States National
Defense Corps.
Defense Corps. Right. Enjoy that. That's why this morning I mentioned you earlier that my rank from Laos is a major, but I enjoy USNDC. They promote me to lieutenant colonel. But
So in the USNDC, you're a lieutenant colonel?
yeah, lieutenant colonel. Right now, I still active work with them. Yeah.
Well, Kia, this concludes our interview. I want to thank you for your service and thank you for sharing your story with me today.
Well, I really thank you. I appreciate you too to helping me get my information and my little bit story. It kind of relieve my stress too. So you see, I talking to you. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I laugh. That relieve my stress a little bit. So yeah, thank you so much that you helping me.